Hello and welcome to Psalm of the Day. It is a Monday morning and we are here live in the auditorium ready for a new week of the Psalms. So I don't know when you're watching this, but I hope you are ready to open the Bible and pray for a revival as Psalm 47 begins with clap your hands, all you peoples. Shout with loud songs of joy. So we got some excitement here for you today with Psalm 47. We also have a new jingle. We are very excited.
The Guaranteed Spot Giveaway.
But first, we went to an art gallery inspired by the Psalms.
Yeah.
So the Psalms inspired many of these works.
Yes. Yeah. Because it was a good challenge for me, for my son, because then now I have to really, every time I work on it, I was thinking about all the verses.
Yes.
So it doesn't necessarily reflect what the psalm is, but while I was working on it, my mind was filled with those songs.
Yeah,
so I said,
awesome.
oh, that it helped me a lot. It sustained my creativity. I tried to finish one per song, one day. So several of those were just done in one day.
Yeah,
but this one took a lot.
No, this one we can see.
I said, yeah, this one took some prayer that one day pastor will come and see it and approve it.
Yes.
If you don't approve the design, that's a failure.
Approved.
What I felt initially and what I even feel right now, I'm so happy that I really want to have others appreciate the art, that God gave me that gift, and I cannot just keep it. As I'm drawing, I'm thinking about God, praising God, thinking about how He saved me, how my life was sustained because of His grace, only through Him.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome, Pastor.
And I am so thankful to Ron because he actually gave me that painting. And he was inspired by this before he came to our church when he was watching it online. What could our church look like? And now he's here. He's a part of the fellowship. Ron, thank you so much for this generous gift. Thank you for sharing how the Psalms inspired you. And so everybody, I guess we got to get ready for the construction project where we're putting a waterfall in the courtyard. So we'll have more about that coming up soon. But thank you, Ron, so much. I'm going to put this up in my office, and it will inspire me that Jesus is building His church here at Huntington Beach. And as the word goes out, the church grows up. And I want to talk to you today about Psalm 47, everybody. I don't know if you've read this psalm, but it is a burst of energy that you might need for your Monday after the weekend to get you fired up for the new week. I don't exactly know what a No Kings protest was this weekend, but this psalm is the exact opposite of that. It is a we have a king shout fest. Yahweh is the king, and He's not just the king of Israel or the king of Judah or Jerusalem. Yahweh is the king over all the earth. That's what this psalm says. And so this psalm is just boom. It's excitement. We got clapping hands. We got loud shouts. We're singing songs of joy. It literally just says psalm hymn about God in these verses. And so let's go through it here together. We're still with the sons of Korah. We were with them all last week, all the way from Psalm 42 to Psalm 49. It's all by the sons of Korah. And we've noticed that they write in a more national way rather than the personal way that we got used to with a lot of David's psalms in book 1. And so here, clap your hands, all peoples, shout to God with loud songs of joy, for Yahweh the Most High is to be feared, a great king over all the earth. I love talking to so many of you who are faithfully reading these Psalms. And I just want to encourage you to keep on reading and keep inviting others to join us. It will be so worth it. I'm so encouraged by one friend that I have here at the church who said that he's really learning to fear God. And I want to draw to your attention that Psalm 46 said, "Therefore we will not fear though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea." Even if the geography around us is falling apart, we will not fear. It's the same word for fear here in Psalm 47 too, the very next psalm. And we know what fear would look like if mountains were falling into the seas. Well, God is such a powerful king over all the earth that we should fear God just like we would fear the mountains falling. He is a great king over all the earth. And so that's the bold statement, that there's only one king. There's one king who sits on one throne who reigns over all. And see, we live where there are many nations. We live where there are many religions. We live where everyone's allowed to believe whatever they want. That's not what this psalm is saying. This psalm is saying there is a king. And it's not any man. It's not any ruler of any government. The king is Yahweh. And here's how we know. Verses 3 and 4, they give us the reasons. Now, when you read them here in English, they might sound like past tense verbs. But I read multiple of the commentaries that said, no, you can translate them in the present tense, and they could even apply to the future. Like God will. The reason everyone should be knowing that Yahweh is a great king over all the earth is because he's going to subdue peoples under us and nations under our feet. If Israel wins a great victory over other nations, then you should know that Yahweh is king. And look, he chose our heritage for us, the pride of Jacob whom he loves. And whenever you hear Jacob in the Psalms, you should think Israel, everybody. So we're talking here, when God wins a great victory for Israel and God gives Israel their land, when you see the nation of Israel supported by Yahweh, placed in the land that he promised them, that he gave them as their inheritance, that's why the whole earth, all the peoples, should see Yahweh as king. Because look what he does for his people there in Israel. And so when it says in verse 5, God has gone up with a shout, Yahweh with the sound of a trumpet, well, that sounds very similar to 2 Samuel 6:15. And this is when they brought the Ark of the Covenant, when David was dancing before the Lord with all his might and doing all these sacrifices, because we're the Ark of the Covenant representing the presence of God going up to be with his people. So that's the idea is, hey, here comes the presence of God, and the people are shouting and they're blowing trumpets and they're getting ready because here comes Yahweh in this triumphal procession of victory. So sing praises, sing praises, sing praises to our King, sing praises, for God is King of all the earth. Sing praises with the psalm, or you could translate it, psalm the Lord, psalm him, give him a psalm. He's the King. He's a great King over all the earth. Psalm him. That's what they're saying here. And we could use some of this excitement. I tell you, I love singing songs here with you all this weekend. I love hearing people sing to the Lord. 'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus. That one part in that song where the whole band up there starts clapping and people start clapping together. I'm like, yes, we should get excited. We should shout. We should be standing there passively. God is King over all the earth. He's the Lord of the heavens. He reigns over our lives. He calls the shots. He determines the boundaries of the nations. He makes the sun rise and fall. He decides the number of your days. He's king. He has absolute authority, the monarch over all of his creation. Psalm him. Sing a song of praise. That's what this is saying. This is like, People want to act like there's no king, and I understand that's a political protest against our president, but the title of it, No Kings, yes, there is a king, and every knee will bow, and every tongue will confess, and every eye will see him riding on the clouds, and he will reign in the future. He will reign in Jerusalem. He will subdue all the other nations. He will give Israel their inheritance, and everyone will know Jesus Christ is Lord. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking for a front row seat. I'm living my whole life waiting for that day. And it's going to be a day we're going to clap, my friends. We're going to shout. We're going to celebrate. And I think that's what this psalm, there was a glimpse of this with King David in Israel, but ultimately this psalm is preparing us for the future kingdom to come. God reigns over the nations. God sits on his holy throne. And the princes of the people gather as the people of the God of Abraham. And I want to take you to Genesis 12:3 when it mentions Abraham there, when God made his initial promise to Abraham. If you go all the way back to Genesis 12 and the beginning of what God said he was going to do back when he was Abram. And God said, now Yahweh said to Abram, go from your country. I'm starting in verse 1 of Genesis 12. Go from your country, your kindred, your father's house to the land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation. And I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. And see, that's what the end of Psalm 47 is tapping into, is that promise, which eventually becomes a covenant between God and David. I'm going to do something with you, a covenant between God and Abraham or Abram. I'm going to do something with you, Abram. I'm going to do something with your line. It's going to become a nation. I'm going to give you a land. And through that nation and land, the blessing is going to go to every family of the earth. And so now all the people are gathering together and they're exalting God. They're saying the earth belongs to God and he is highly exalted. So there is only one king. There is only one way. And Yahweh is the king. And Jesus is going to return and reign as Lord in the kingdom of God. And we're all going to celebrate like we've never celebrated before. That's Psalm 47. And we could use some of that clapping and shouting for the great king, the Hebrew word melech, the king who is coming over all the earth. In the kingdom that is yet to come, there will be no other religions. There will be no other kings. There will only be those who bow the knee. That's the attitude of this psalm. And that's something that you and I need to hear, we need to meditate on, and we need to respond to God's psalm hymn. And so it was inspiring to see how Ron was using the inspiration of the Psalms for his art. And I hope you get inspired by this psalm to clap and shout and worship God as our King. And something I'm hoping we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to go to Israel next summer. This is something I love to do, and I hope that many of you can come. And that's why we created this jingle.
The Guaranteed Spot Giveaway.
So here's what we're going to do in this video and the next couple of videos, and then we'll have the giveaway later this week. If this is for anybody who wants to go to Israel, okay? Now, one time we gave away a free trip to Israel. Well, we can't obviously keep doing that. But what we can give away is if you want to go to Israel, people are already asking me, how many people can go? How do I make sure I get my spot? Well, if you want to have a guaranteed seat, and that means that you are you're paying for it, you're coming, but we're guaranteeing that you get to go before all the spaces fill up. So remember, the date is Sunday, November 9th. That's the date for this important meeting. And if you leave a comment in this video with all capital letters Israel, you're entered in that giveaway. Can we hear the jingle one more time? Because it just makes me happy every time I hear it.
The Guaranteed Spot Giveaway.
If you want a guaranteed spot to go to Israel, leave a comment down below. And here's what we're leaving comments about today. Give me a verse that reminds you that Yahweh is king, or that Jesus is coming as the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. If we could get so many king verses in these comments, and if you want to get a guaranteed spot to go to Israel, leave all capital letters Israel. And then somebody who does that will win a seat on the plane, on the bus, a seat at the Garden of Gethsemane, a seat on the boat on the Sea of Galilee, a seat there at the empty tomb. So I would love to go to Israel with you if you're interested in that. Make sure you leave a comment with all capital letters Israel so you could be entered for the Guaranteed Spot giveaway. I am so excited. I'm praying. Let's all pray for peace in Israel and that we can have safe travels there to see the land where God is going to reign as king. And I hope to see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. because it's time to know God.